raised in Westfield.
Yep.
And went away. And where did you go?
Moved to Columbus, Ohio for 9.5 years, almost 10 years. Worked for Nationwide Insurance, corporate job for all those years, and it was great. My wife moved down there with me. She was from the area as well. We really had a lot of fun. It was a great big city, but we had 2 kids at that point. We really wanted to, maybe have another child or 2. And my oldest child was getting ready to go into kindergarten. And as we got closer to that start date, we really decided that we wanted to move back where both of our families are from and where we both grew up. We both grew up in Westfield. There's a lot of outdoor activities, a lot of things that we really enjoy in the area, and this is where we wanted to raise our children. And we were back about 2 weeks before kindergarten started in the fall, so right down to the last minute.
No kidding. Did you have a decent plan when you came, or you just like, we're just coming back, and that you just knee-jerked it back to town?
No, we had a whole approach to it. We had been working on the housing situation, selling our old house. We already had a home purchased here.
Oh, you did? Okay. That's what I was going to ask.
We already had things started getting the house the way we wanted it here, but also in that move, I went from working corporate for Nationwide Insurance to starting my own business here in Westfield.
Wow, so you literally went on your own.
Yeah.
And bought a house and had your first kid and started your business within like a 2-month period.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, housing here is tough, right? You guys, this isn't like a normal market, it's a small market. So did it take you a while to find a place? Or?
Yeah, we worked on that. We bought it about 6 months before we moved back, and you kind of gotta, if you get a house that fits you and your family, you take it when you get it, because you're not always gonna have whenever you're looking for it and you need to have it, you're not going to find it.
Yeah, I spent 4 years in California looking for a house. And it's one of the most aggravating things you can do.
Oh, very much so.
Because after, you're just like, I should not look a gift horse in the mouth if something kind of fits, but in the end, it's such a big investment. You have to find the right fit. So you're dropping houses all the time. You're like, I should, heck with it. And then you found the right one.
Yep.
Are you still there?
Oh yeah, we're still there. We ain't gonna move anywhere, especially with the kids.
Yeah, you have how many?
We have 3 now, so
nice.
It's not an easy thing to do to pick up and move a family. But this is where we really wanted to be, and this is ultimately where we ended up. I mean, we spent those years away, but we spent so much of our vacation time coming back here. We would spend parts of the summer, parts of the fall, parts of the winter, parts of the spring, because there are so many great things to do in this area. Whether it's the snow, there's a lot of great skiing in the area, a lot of great snowmobiling, a lot of really good things to do in all the seasons of the year.
It's hard to deny how seasonal this area is, and it makes winter attractive, it makes fall attractive. And I came here my first day, I told you guys at the meeting, at the worst possible day I could, and I intentionally said I'm going to come here on a Sunday at 9, and it was the worst Sunday, whatever it was, a couple weeks before I met you, in February maybe, and the town didn't budge an inch. It was awesome still. It still was just as good as now in a way. There's a feel here. And that's really what I wanted to see. The best places I've ever lived have had that. And Westfield undeniably has something that I'm going to try to define on these shows, but right now for me it's intangible. I can't quite figure it out. But it's this confluence of all of this, like you're saying. Like you were coming here on your vacation, and then you're like, what are we doing?
5-6 weeks a year we're coming back on vacation here.
Home to vacation. So you're like, well, we gotta move, right?
Why don't we just live there?
Sure.
That's kind of what it came down to. Is like, why are we living in a place that we don't want to be? Because this is really where we wanted to be. There were things year round that we wanted to be here doing.
Sure.
And
it's your home. You grew up here.
Yeah, and as a child, it was really a fantastic place to grow up, because you had the lakes, you had the Chautauqua Gorge, you had streams, whatever you want to do, as long as it's outside. There's tons of stuff to do.
Yeah,
Year round.
It is. It's just this beautiful, magical place. You know, who knows? But the energy here and the geography and the architecture,
Yeah.
the people, you can't get a better place. And
Absolutely.
it's cool because, you appreciated it and you were like, this is the best place for me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us try to escape home.
Yeah.
Right? and, then,
Yeah.
and then you're like, no. And I did the same thing. You go out, and I didn't develop an appreciation for Western New York until it was 15 years out. And I moved 20 times, like in New England and all through Northern California a bunch of times. And it wasn't until I bought a house, it wasn't until I had that permanence where I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I loved my town that I was in. It was beautiful, and our house was awesome. But I was just like, wait a second. It's your decision. And your wife, it's nice that you have that.
Yeah.
It's that symbiotic relationship with her. You both grew up here. You both experienced Columbus.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you came back and you met her. You both have had that appreciation where you were down there and decided to come here.
Yeah.
Great schools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic schools down here, but the schools here are great. I mean, there's several in the area that I think would rival, just about anywhere. That my daughter's in kindergarten. She's learning to add, subtract, read. It amazes me every day. She comes home excited. Something as simple as the bus driver, like, she has a relationship with the bus driver. They're like best friends. Got to give them. If there's say a spring break, she's like missing her bus driver, missing her just all that, because there's such a personal connection with each of those people that are at the school or
and
all the way
kids
through.
Can't say that in other areas and other towns
pretty
and cities.
tough.
It's really tough. we lack that as a society now, as a group. Trying to rear kids, like the village approach to child rearing and education couldn't be more important. We're lacking that now. It's like, get them in, assembly line, get them out, and if you can have that personal intention, it makes all the difference in a kid's life. And if she's missing school and she's missing a bus driver, they're doing something right.
Yeah, they're doing a lot right.
That's awesome. And you never hear that, really.
No.
I mean, but that's what it's about, though. Here, it seems like everybody loves this town so much so that everybody almost takes care of everybody else here.
Absolutely.
But this is how it should be, and this is how it's not in most places, because we're so insular. Nobody wants to know. Everybody wants to know everybody else's business, but nobody wants to really help for real. There's just so much caring here, and so much pride, and so much intrinsic grouping. It's crazy. So now, when you came back to start your business for the insurance, you were working for State Farm?
I was working for Nationwide. Which their national headquarters is in Columbus, Ohio. So buildings all over the city. Three big tall buildings downtown. And when I left, I decided to go in an independent agent route, which means I represent Nationwide, but I also represent another 10 or 15 companies on top of that as well.
And that's all about finding the best fit for the customer's needs.
Absolutely. It allows me to be flexible from one company to the other to find what the best match is.
Right. And insurance is one of those things that we don't think about till we need it.
Yeah.
And so it's hugely important to make the right decision up front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because changing insurance is a pain.
It's not,
For you, that's your job, though.
Well, that's my job. I make it as easy as I can, but for the most part, people want a good value on their insurance, but they also want somebody to keep an eye on it, take care of it, so they don't have to learn the insurance language, to dig into all these things that
it's intimidating. It is. I mean, I've tried to do it several times for several different things, and it's just like in the throes of my daily life.
Yeah.
You're like, really?
Well,
it's like doing taxes.
It's exactly like doing taxes. You do it once a year. You feel like you're probably doing it right if you do it on your own, but you don't really know until you get audited.
Yeah, you're always sweating bullets when you have to make a claim, because you're like, I don't know. You really never know what you have.
Yep.
You think you know, but you don't know. You're the only one that really can translate that to somebody.
So try to save people time, save people money, but just assure people that what they have is going to cover what they want it to cover. And that's what's really important for my job, is just to give people the confidence that they're covered in the event that they need
Sure.
to file a claim.
And I love that you're on Main Street and you're accessible.
Oh, yeah.
9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can stop in. You're here, and that's a big deal too. Like sometimes I have some horror stories about car insurance. Trying to get a hold of somebody, and they're like, "Oh, Joe's not here." I'm like, "What do you mean Joe's not there? I need to talk to Joe."
I think a lot of times I get people that I think are just walking by, and they know I have air conditioning or heat in here, and they stop on by depending upon the season, and
Right.
and catch up a little bit, then they get back on their way again. And
That's funny, but that's it for me for the show. All of this information will define what I'm trying to figure out here, because that's an old way to live. And it's the right way to live.
Yeah.
Like, I live in this community. Oh, oops, I haven't seen Richie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop and say hey, right?
oh yeah,
But you don't get that anymore. We're so busy, and I love that about this place. It slows you down. Like I said, when I was walking in, I get decompressed here. I go back home and I'm ramped and amped, and I come here and I'm just like a little more mellow.
it took me 2 or 3 months to slow down.
It did.
It's like, why are people getting back to me? I'm used to, like, you call a lawyer, you get a call back,
You know that. Yeah. That's
and
right.
you're like, it's been a week. What are they doing?
And I run at the speed of light, like you probably were down there. So it is. But when you think about how business was done and how we lived our lives 30, 40 years ago, that was normal. We had snail mail. Everything took longer. It wasn't this like instant everything. And now people are so impatient. It runs the gamut, and it affects every aspect of our lives. So it's important that you're here on Main Street. And was that intentional? Or did you just happen to find the right, like when you were picking a place, because you could have went above a building, you wanted a storefront?
Yeah, it really had to be, storefront, kind of on this main part of the street here, pretty much center of town. And that's where I really wanted to be, and it's enjoyable because I do get a lot more people that will just stop in, or that are just happen to be walking by, and they look over and see me, and they stop in,
Well, the fact that you're an insurance guy, like I can see you and walk into your place, having had my crazy experiences in the past, is a really nice thing to know that you're accessible.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it's not at all. It's all just straight up, black and white, because it's insurance.
Yeah.
But for the average layman, it's like, black magic. Like, what are you doing? I have no idea. What are you even talking about? But you have to translate all that to everybody. So, and you can't underestimate the importance of insurance.
No.
Period. No. So now, so if somebody comes to you, basically your whole goal is find the best package, find the best price. What's the process?
Well, the main thing is to review how they're currently covered, and then build on it from there. A lot of times we compare or try to get some quotes similar to what they have now, but then also review it and make any recommendations based upon the policy's 20 years old. Maybe coverages need to be increased, or maybe it's lacking some coverages that maybe weren't available when they issued the policy that are available now, and just discuss those different things with the clients so they know what's covered and what's not.
Okay.
It's really important to know that, and what you could be covered for or what you're not covered for, and make them or help them make an educated decision based upon what they want to be covered or what they don't.
So what was Westfield like when you were a kid? Has it changed a lot?
Not really.
No, it's all the same.
Trying to think if there's my early teen years, we got McDonald's. That was
must have been a big
I guess some of the things that have really changed from when I was a kid till now is I feel like there's a lot more like walleye, like Lake Erie fishing tournaments. The boating on Lake Erie, I feel, has really increased. There's like, I get calls for insurance, but just in general for like charter boats. There's a lot of people coming in to go fishing on Erie now.
So is boating insurance a real specialized thing or is it, because I never really thought about it, but my grandfather had a boat his whole life. He had a beautiful 1940s wooden whatever.
Yeah.
But he didn't carry insurance on it. But I mean, you have this beautiful harbor down
Yeah.
here that looks pretty full. So they obviously need insurance, but is it a specialized? I mean,
No, for the most part, for when they're using it for non-business use, it's really not too bad. There's several companies that'll offer insurance there for the boats that are being chartered for business use, bringing people out on the lake to go fishing for hire. Those are a lot more specialized because there's risk of customers being on the lake,
right.
sinking, or anything else.
Liability insurance.
But that certainly changed quite a bit from when I was a kid. There's
you don't think about that. Like, I think that's like an old thing, but it probably still happens occasionally, right?
there are boats that go down, you know, you hear about a couple of summer anyways.
Really?
Not that they're going down in a terrible storm or
It's not
something,
like
but you know, they're damage to the boat or something
Sure.
along the lines, and they're trying to get back to shore.
I remember once with my grandfather, it's a total typical of my grandfather. They lived about a block in from Lake Erie in Hamburg, and he had this, like I said, this beautiful old wooden boat, and he was a bit of, he was an engineer, so he was really handy. But you know, a little overconfident. So we wake up on a Saturday, and he's like, "We're going to Cleveland," and I was like, and my grandmother, I remember yelling at him, said, "Cliff, we're not going to Cleveland." He's like, "We're going to Cleveland." So his whole thing was to ride to Cleveland on the boat, and we get halfway there, and he hit something and started taking in, and somehow he got it fixed. But I mean, that type of situation, so I could see that happening because I was in the boat when that was happening.
You're literally
in the boat. It was my sister and I you know, remember my grandmother, we're sitting, you know, in life preserve, my grandmother's helping out, and I was like, oh my God, you know. So, you know, so that's your insurance.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta have stuff like that. Now you do motorcycling, you do everything, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing that you're not gonna provide for your
Yeah,
clients.
do anywhere from business to seasonal homes to all the fun toys people have up here, you know, snowmobiles during the winter, motorcycles, boats during the summer, and ATVs, and
Awesome.
there's a lot of seasonal camps or seasonal properties. So
Right. I just discovered Findlay Lake.
Finley Lake is beautiful as well.
Amazing. Yeah.
I got friends up there that we go up and visit. So
Christina from the Great Discovery sent me up there.
yeah,
Dude, I turned around that corner. I was like, are you kidding me? This looks like a movie. It doesn't even look real. Like, I turned and there was that wheel and there's a little gazebo and then that cattail pond and then those stores, and it sits on that beautiful like side of the lake little town. I was like, come on.
yeah, you're going through the countryside and you don't see anything, and all of a sudden,
It's, right
right
the
there.
orientation of the town, and that's when we do the Findlay Lake show. That's my goal, is to like get what I felt. Like I turned that corner, I was expecting a nice lake, but I wasn't expecting that. You know, that's like,
tell you, that's a great feeling when you make that corner, because I right after that I got to turn left to go to my friend's family's
so
house
you
up
don't even
there.
get
So
into
it's a great feeling though, because the sun hits you and you come down that hill, you make that turn and start going around the lake, and you know you're going to the.
it was magic. I'm not kidding you. Like, I hit that corner, it just the way that it reveals itself. Like, you just do that turn and the town kind of reveals, the lake reveals, and then you look to the left and you got this beautiful pond. And then I was like, come on, this isn't gonna hold. And around the lake, it's amazing. There's little islands.
Yeah.
And I went home, I did the research, and found out that they chopped it up. There was a mill there. It was basically ponds, and then the guy made a lake because it was a mill. And then you got these islands on it. Like, everything about it was just awesome. So you'll take care of all the stuff for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything that we haven't discussed?
Yeah, I mean, there was. You asked if there's anything different from when I was a kid, and I mentioned the boating, but I feel like also the wineries. There was always wineries here, but they've had to have tripled the amount of them and a lot more.
Fred was like the only.
Yeah.
Right, that was it.
That was really the Johnson's estate. They've been there forever. They got great wine, but now we're starting to add quite a few other wineries, but also some breweries, some. Some places are making spirits, so it's like, I mean, they've, just with anything, you need people with experience, training, and they've been building that, and then all of a sudden you got all these guys that.
It's critical mass, right? You have so many people building on this for so many years, it's inevitable that it's going to pop at some point, and it really has, right?
Oh yeah, and I mean, any given weekend you could go to any of these. We actually ride our bikes with our kids in one of those things that you pull behind your bike.
Yeah, I love those.
And we ride over to
What
our winery that isn't far away, and we just sit there, and they got these benches outside. Our kids just run around the hills, you know.
Awesome.
So
So you have a good life. That's a good life.
it's fun, you know.
Yeah, and that's why you came back.
Yeah.
And that's got to be satisfying. You built this business. You've been here for how long now?
3 years now.
Wow,
so,
congratulations.
yeah.
That's a big deal, man. And you were born and raised, so that's got to help because you
Yep.
know the town. You understand the town too.
Oh yeah.
You know, like in a way that if you were just like, I just found this place and I love it, but you don't know it like the way that you know it.
Yeah.
And where do you guys live? Just outside of town, or?
Yeah. So you got the flats, you know, and then about where Johnson's estate is, starts going up the hill, and we're part of the way up the hill, just a couple miles away from like Johnson's estate, or just outside of town, heading up the hill in the countryside.
Nice. I mean, I'm
It's
you know,
nice
I'm
and
living
quiet.
vicariously through you right now. So, that's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So as far as employments go, are people capable? You can just walk in and
Yeah.
run with it.
Just come on in. You know, it's fun. I mean, obviously, if you
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to have an appointment, but normally I
have
just
to
tell
call
people
in.
to come right in. Yeah.